The numbers for June's housing market could indicate a busy rest of the summer. That's according to Dan Brown, our realtor expert from FC Tucker. He's here with your monthly real estate rundown. June is typically kind of a peak month of the year, so we expect those numbers to be good, but what are we looking at?
Yeah, June, that's exactly right. June is usually it's kind of the period behind the spring market. Mm-hmm. So those are going to be our peak numbers, and then we have reached those numbers. Specifically in sales prices, our prices have now hit what we find as a record.
Wow.
In central Indiana of $320,000 for a median priced home in the central Indiana area, and that beats the last highest mark, which was last June. And so, yeah, we're off to a pretty good start.
So the prices, and even more in some of the donut counties around Indy too.
Yeah, when we measure within the Board of Realty, that's within a 14-county area. But if we carry that down to the donut counties, that number goes from 320 to 340. And if we take Marion County out of it and just the suburban counties, it's 400. Mm-hmm. So those are significant prices and significantly higher than they were 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, which is why some people are selling now, and that increases the inventory. The prices, combined with some lower interest rates, are drawing those sellers into the market, and that's why our inventory is up significantly as well. You
mentioned lower interest rates. What are the mortgage rates right now?
The mortgage rates, the average 30-year rate is hovering in central Indiana around 6 and 5/8, some 6.5. It's been coming down for 5 straight weeks, and that's significant. At this time of year, that's encouraging sellers to sell, and it's keeping buyers in the market.
As those sellers are starting to sell, does that mean that we have more houses on market?
Absolutely. We've had the most since November of 2019, when I went back that far. We have over 6,300 homes for sale actively listed in the central Indiana area. And that's not a balanced market yet, but we're getting there, and that's significantly more than we had last year. It's 25% more than we had to look at last year.
I recall, since we've been talking to you over the months and years, that inventory is often a problem. Balanced market, what is that exactly, and how are we inching, I guess, closer to it?
Yeah, we talk about balanced markets, and it's really just, who has the advantage? Is it the seller or the buyer? Mm-hmm. And it's always driven by supply and demand. It's just basic economics. We have historically in this country, we have a housing shortage, and that's been true for 15 years. In central Indiana, it's not as severe as some places, but we are inching back. When we measure things about a balanced market, we're talking about how long does it take to sell everything you have. It's kind of a statistical model. And that number is our months of inventory data, and right now we're just under 2. A balanced market is 4 months. It would take 4 months to sell everything you have. So we still are favoring the seller in this market. It's not a buyer's market yet, but it's getting a lot easier for buyers to negotiate.
All right, so a lot easier if you're thinking about being either a buyer or seller.
Absolutely.
Dan Brown, thank you so much.